Hey, folks, yesterday over 1,000 people gathered outside the NFL headquarters in New York in support of Colin Kaepernick. The quarterback remains jobless since opting out of his contract with the 49ers in March. Many say the quarterback is being blackballed since his anthem protests against police brutality. Most recently, Baseball Hall of Famer Hank Aaron spoke to Roland Martin about Kaepernick.
You got some thoughts about Colin Kaepernick?
Well, I think he's getting the raw deal. I think that if I look at, I've been watching pro ball for a long time, and I think that if you look at all of the quarterbacks in the league right now, I think you have to say he is 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think anybody can do the things that he do. So I just wish somebody would open up and give him a chance to do his thing and say, hey, he's entitled to whatever he did, and let's forget about it.
All right, that was Roland Martin, and he joins us now. He's outside of the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute. Roland, thank you so much for providing us with that conversation. More importantly, though, I wanted to talk to you because I know there was more that we weren't able to show. What was your biggest takeaway?
Well, it was interesting because I was actually being honored by Hank Aaron and the Atlanta Braves for my commitment to social justice through media. And so we were waiting to go on the field to ride around in the caravan, and Colin Kaepernick's name came up. And Hank Aaron said that, it's a shame what they're doing. He said, I'm a Ravens fan. I'm not going to watch football this year because what they're doing with Colin Kaepernick. And I said, well, Hank, have you ever talked to him? He said, no. And so after we were on the field and then we went upstairs to the suite, I actually called Colin Kaepernick because we actually talk all the time. He was on a conference call, and then I connected those two, and I said, Hank, does somebody want to talk to you? And he looked at the phone. He said, huh? And he said, Kaepernick? I said, yes. So they had about a 5-minute conversation, and then I said, Hank, would you like, to talk publicly about this? And he said, sure. And that's when we did the interview where he wanted people to understand where he stood about Colin Kaepernick.
That's interesting, Roland. So thank you for giving us the timeline. So they spoke prior to him actually doing the interview with you. What did they say? Can you share some of that conversation between for us?
It was exactly what he said even in the interview. He encouraged him to stay strong. He said that he certainly deserves a shot. He was a strong young man who should be playing in the NFL. And was really offering him, encouraging words. It's interesting, being here. I'm here for a school choice town hall that I'm putting on tonight. But to be outside of the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, the 16th Street Baptist Church is just to our left. That's a statue of Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth. These are folks who actually put something on the line to sacrifice. Hank Aaron is from Mobile, Alabama, not far from here. And so to have him encouraging Colin Kaepernick in this moment was interesting. Colin was blown away by it. And then, Hank asked for his phone number, and I provided his phone number to him. And to have someone of his stature recognize what he is doing is important. I think people need to understand that here's a guy who was a contemporary of Jackie Robinson. And what's very interesting to me, Cari, when everybody talks about Colin Kaepernick, they never want to talk about why he's protesting, but they also forget what Jackie Robinson wrote in his own book, I Never Had It Made, where he explained why he doesn't salute the flag or even stand for the national anthem, because he said how African Americans are still being treated. In 1972, he wrote those words, the exact same issues Colin Kaepernick is talking about in 2016 and still 2017.
All right, Hey, Roland, thank you for putting that in context again by way of history. So I want you to help me out here because you mentioned what Hank Aaron had to deal with. Hate mail, bigotry, all a part of his time while he was actually playing in Major League Baseball. Are there parallels that you can see between these two athletes today? And I'm speaking of Hank Aaron and Colin Kaepernick.
Well, I think what really stands out is obviously for Hank Aaron, he got all of that just simply playing baseball and breaking Babe Ruth's record. And that's different from getting hate mail from people who want to do you harm because you actually protested. That's one of the issues there. I think what you have here is character, integrity. When I hear people out there, even sports journalists, questioning the character and integrity of Colin Kaepernick, he's doing this for the attention. Please show me somebody who wants to be trash, dogged, and not get a job. Then for Hank Aaron to specifically criticize these NFL owners. This is a guy who also went through Curt Flood, who went through that moment. And Hank Aaron actually talked about how he and other superstars could have done more to support Curt Flood. That's also interesting. And so here you had a guy, Curt Flood, who sacrificed his career. Even though he lost in the Supreme Court, we still know him today and give him credit for free agency in all of sports. Now what you're seeing with Colin Kaepernick, Michael Bennett, we're now seeing Marshawn Lynch. We now saw 10 players of the Cleveland Browns. I think what's going to happen on the week one, you're going to see players, and I'm encouraging it, players across this league taking a knee, telling the owners, you might have sat Colin Kaepernick out, you try to sit all of us out. Because without the players, there is no NFL.
It's interesting you say Hank Aaron said he could have done more, and now he is encouraging Colin Kaepernick and others while criticizing the ownership, saying that he will not watch the NFL. That is his way of boycotting. I ask you at the end of the day, do you believe with everything that there's a movement and we're seeing a shift in momentum in terms of how there is support for Colin Kaepernick, but do you believe at the end of the day he will have a job in the NFL as a quarterback?
Moments turn into movements. And you have owners who don't like to lose, who like to win. I do believe when you look at some of the scrubs, and I'm using that word for a precise reason, there are players who clearly are not even remotely as good as Colin Kaepernick on NFL rosters. I believe that if you see a starter go down or a second stringer go down, some owner is going to have the common sense to say it's about talent, it's about what you can do on the field. That's the case. No NFL owner has any integrity whatsoever to sign a player who's had a DUI, who's raped a woman or been accused of sexual assault, who has actually been, on trial for murder. Take your pick. We can go down the whole line, and they are on NFL rosters, but you have the audacity to say a guy who peacefully took a knee somehow cannot play in the NFL. It's time for NFL owners to show some integrity and not just talk about character, but also reward character.
That is Roland Martin joining us, and always not afraid to give his opinion. Next time, be a little more bold, Roland. We appreciate you joining us here on SportsCenter Coast to Coast. I appreciate it. Back in a moment, folks.